many beds are we talking about, or how many people can it service?
They're looking for 200 initially, with the possibility of expanding to 500.
Well, this seems like it would certainly take us back home in a way, because didn't the VA center start out as an old soldiers' home back in the
Yes.
late 1800s?
That's right. And then finally, the site needs to be free from any structures, and the site that they're looking at over here on the east side is free from structures, and it doesn't need any demolition. Now, desirable criteria, it needs to be proximity to an existing VA hospital, so that's meets that criterion. It needs also to be have proximity to an established medical, dental, and acute care services. So whether that's the VA itself or Mercy, it meets that. It needs to have trained personnel available with an additional instructional facility for a nursing program, and UCC does provide that. It needs proximity to community activity centers such as parks, retail and entertainment centers, educational centers, libraries, and other community facilities. And like I said, being in the center of town, this really is an ideal location for what they're looking for. Needs to have availability to public transportation for residents and staff. There's bus stops all along Garden Valley, as well as Harvard. Desirable site characteristics such as water, and with it abutting the South Umpqua River, as well as the wetlands in Stewart Park, without question would meet that, as well as woodland and flora and fauna, and with the wooded area to the southeast portion of the site, as well as some of the other amenities of Stewart Park. It does have that. Prominence and visibility in the community, which, like I said, it's in the center of town, and the VA is already recognized as really the heart of the community. As Ron questioned, they're looking for 200 beds with the ability to expand to 500. Now, if you equate that to the ratio of employees needed, what this would mean in terms of full-time employment would be 260 initially, and if it's expanded to the full capacity, it'd be 650 jobs. So it really is quite an opportunity. Now, the estimated project cost is $43 million, so it is an expensive project, and the local share has to be at least, based on the estimates, would be about $15 million. This can't come in the form of land, unfortunately. We are exploring the possibility of having a match in terms of facility upgrades, and so there might be an opportunity to do that as well. And this is a schematic of the possibility. So here's what we were looking at before, and here's the veterans home, long-term care here that they're talking about. Access would still come with the one entrance. There were some earlier proposals that talked about going to the mall entrance, but that seemed a little problematic for our chairman's employer. And so it makes sense to use this same entrance. Aside from providing jobs, one of the other positive factors of this proposal is that it will complete a vital link in our pedestrian bicycle network. What they're proposing is, and this doesn't show it very well, but here's Stewart Parkway, and here's the park and the half shell. There's the road and then the trail that goes to Gaddis Park and to downtown and that way. Currently there's a trail that goes alongside the freeway, and it basically ends at Garden Valley. It comes out at the sidewalk. So if you want to do a loop, you got to go on to Garden Valley and walk to clear across Fred Meyer and into the that entrance that way. Kind of a dangerous link for pedestrians. So what they're proposing, and this was in our bike pedestrian plan that you saw and approved, is that there would be a link right where it takes off to go to Garden Valley. That link might stay there, but it will also provide got to look closer here, a trail through the site and then link up with the trail system over by the bird observatory area. So it'll keep pedestrians off the major thoroughfare and provide a nice natural loop for the entire site. So there's pages and pages on this in terms of the RFP and the application, but I think that will suffice for just to give you an update on what's happening. The timing for the grant, so the RFP closes in a couple weeks, and they'll evaluate these rather rapidly. There's about a month turnaround time that they'll give award notifications. So we should know by the middle of March whether or not we've been awarded. Now, I don't have any information on any competitors, so to speak. I'm not aware of any other communities that would be vying for this grant. I'm sure there are, but I don't have any information as to what's out there. But based on the criteria that I've presented, and that the team that is working on this feels very good about this, and this team would be Douglas County specifically, and the city, and a number of other partners who are working hard to make this become a reality. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
You mentioned traffic, or talking about the 600 additional, potentially 600 jobs. The opportunity to improve Garden Valley or some of the facilities there, that could be in-kind type of thing?
To the facilities, yes, that's correct. Your question had come through, but would traffic improvements be part of the match? That's a possibility that we're currently asking, and we believe it will be. It's the land preparation. So if you've got any hazards or constraints on the land itself, it has to be ready, and those improvements cannot count towards the match. So the land or any associated preparation for the land. But in terms of facilities and utilities, that's a different story. We believe it will be.
I could see that stretch of Garden Valley having some.
Yes. The traffic will increase, and we'll need to address that at some time.
Any chance the county will help provide some match?
Yes, most definitely. The county has actually kind of has really led the effort on this together with the city. So I think, without question, the county and city, and given that it's $15 million, it may be a vote to the people as well, depending on what we get out of the facilities match, which is unknown at this point.